Buster, you gonna say hello? Huh? Buster, you say hello? Here, Buster. Say hello. Not sure if anybody's gonna be on here. Say hello. Well, I don't think anybody's on, but it'll go, you know, it can be replayed. I had shared a post about wanting to do a little bit about retinoblastoma awareness. So Buster and I are coming live, huh, Bus? You can tell he acts thrilled, doesn't he? 20 years ago today, at the time, our 3-year-old daughter was diagnosed with a really rare form of cancer, eye cancer, called retinoblastoma. And, you know, it's right, hasn't it, Buster? And, you know, it's really been my, you know, passion to bring awareness to that type of cancer. Not just really that type of cancer, but eye diseases in general, because, for example, when sharing some of the pictures of retinoblastoma children, a lady, her daughter had the white glow in her eye, and it ended up she had Coats disease, which needs to be treated early, or, you know, to have a better outcome with that as well. And same with retinoblastoma, if it's caught early, you have like a 95-98% survival rate. So it's extremely important. And the thing that's really interesting about retinoblastoma is it shows up in a photograph. And today we have so much technology that automatically takes the red out of photographs and makes it white. So, which is fine, because in a way it makes more people, if they're aware of this, to go to the eye doctor. Because, you know, with our kids and newborns, you know, we do well baby checkups. We can't leave a hospital without a hearing test. There's all these extra things that we do, but we still don't do a vision assessment when a baby is born, or when a baby goes for, most babies anyway, most pediatricians don't check for it. So always trying to raise awareness. If you ever see a white reflex in a photograph, a newborn to age 6 to 7, there is an app now, I believe it's called Cradle. You can run it through that, or, you know, look it up, and please suggest to that individual to have their child see a pediatric ophthalmologist. You can start out with an optometrist, but you really should go to an ophthalmologist, or even your pediatrician. So we really would appreciate that. And please, you know, feel free anytime to reach out to me if there's something, advice I can give you if you see someone that has the white glow, you know. So, and again, it is a very rare cancer. I think in the United States there's 350 to 400 cases per year. It's not a lot, I know, but, you know, my daughter did, you know, lose her eye. She had a round of chemo, radiation, and so, you know, we're just trying to raise awareness to that. Buster's being quiet because he knows how serious of a subject it is. Right, Bus? We don't want people to have to go through what Sister went through, do we? And we want them, if they have it, they got to get treated early. Right? He was singing and dancing earlier, but I was cleaning, and he gets really mad when I clean. So he went back out to his cage, and he's just starting to make his way back out in the living room here. And for some reason, my computer is just going off, so I gotta run over here really quick. Oh, thanks, Carmen. My daughter's doing great. She's, you know, it was 20 years ago today. She's 23 years old now. And you know, she's doing really, really well. Ignore my half-groomed dog. My shears broke, and I'm waiting to get new ones in. You gonna take a bow, Buster? You gonna take a bow? So anyway, I was also gonna kind of go over. I get a lot of the same questions. I'm not complaining because I appreciate people watching and being interested and interacting with us. So I was kind of thinking of doing kind of a series of Buster videos where I can. You like that idea? Excuse me, where I can link them. Like to the top of his video. That way, you know, when they ask or something, you know, it can be kind of like the little dot where you can link a video. Because I get a lot about his back history. And, you know, unfortunately, like with a lot of birds that you adopt or rescue, and, you know, I consider adopting or rescuing even answering an ad, because if that bird is in need of a home, when something is going on, that doesn't necessarily mean you go through the steps of going to a private rescue and getting a bird, which is what I advocate for, but things just went a little differently for me. Come here, Buster. Come here. Here, Max. Come on. Anyway, so I kind of like to do video series of, you know, Buster's backstory, and like doing more on information I'd like to give if you are wanting to get a parrot. I'd like to do a series on the damage that cockatoos do. I'd like to do some on how often they're rehomed. What to expect if you do get, you know, a newborn. I've never had a newborn cockatoo. It's okay, Buster. You know, I know like initially they're not real hormonal, so I've read, and there's just behaviors that go along later on that, you know, I think it would be good for people to know. Oh, it's okay. She, like I said, this was 20 years ago. She had treatment, inoculation of her eye. And, I mean, she has some, you know, long-term effects and things like that, but we're thankful she's here, and she really is doing really, really well now. So, but anyhow, if you guys have suggestions too of things you would like to hear about or a series, you know, I'm not really big on what I feel is educating. Like there's a lot of YouTubers that do that. I personally like the channel. That's my MO. I like her. She puts a lot of good information out there. She makes a lot of her own toys and different things like that. I don't normally do that. I will share with, you know, what I do and what works for us. You know, I know some cockatoo owners don't want their birds to scream and shout and such, but we try to do a couple, you know, like a certain time of the day where Buster, you know, he tells his dad his story and he hops around and goes a little crazy. That seems to help with behavior throughout the rest of the day. For example, like this, you know, where he just kind of is chilling and, which he's listening. I'm sure he's going to tell Dad all about this later. But again, if you guys have ideas, it's really important to me that just by watching Buster's craziness and things, that people don't rush out and get a cockatoo. It's not really a good beginner bird. Not saying that you have to have 20 years of experience. I'm just saying, you know, researching on the internet or researching YouTube is quite different than real life. And I'm really big on asking people to either work with a rescue, because one, a bird picks you. For example, I got Buster for me, When I met him, he came right to me. He was happy to come home with me. And then he took to my husband, and he's really not so crazy about me anymore. And if any of you have followed along for a while or see some of the videos I put out, there's times he bites me sometimes. He'll come after me at times. And that's true, cockatoo life. So they destroy your home. I mean, for example, I've showed this many times. This is over a course of a long time. At this point, we we still correct him not to do it. It happens very quickly. He walks through, he takes a nip at it. He's been doing that for 3 years now. We are in the process of making their bird room. You can see, it's okay, boss. I didn't mean to scare you. Where we have this gate here, and there's this wall. Oh, here he goes. We're going to actually, let me step back just a little more. Come here, Max. We're going to close this wall here, and that's opened. And there's an opening over here where we keep this up. And there's going to be a door there. That way I have more of a dedicated room. Again, if parrots don't get enough sleep, they're grouchy. Over the weekend, it was New Year's. We had fireworks in our area all weekend long. And yesterday, Buster tried to go after me. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that he hadn't had any sleep. So, things like that happen. So I'm not trying to discourage people from, I know I sound gloom and doom. That's not what I mean. It's great having Buster. It's great having Earl. It's just, I do think sometimes there's unrealistic expectations. Buster is not all fun and games all the time. He does destroy things, and people are like, how could you let that happen? This has been going on over 3 years. It just happens. It just does. He, like, again, he will just suddenly come through and take a nip at it. And then another idea is, people ask me all the time, do they poop? Yes. They're an animal. They poop. I mean, I keep papers down a lot of places. Initially when I had him, he was really good about going to his cage and doing it. But here lately, he hasn't been as good about that. I don't know if it's, where he's getting older or what, but a lot of the questions I want to answer, it's important to me so that if someone does decide to get a cockatoo or any kind of parrot, really, that you're informed on exactly what's going to go on. They also require a lot. Yeah, you're right. That's true. But I think that people don't really always know just how destructive they are. And I think sometimes, too, certain videos paint an area of a certain room where there's not a lot of destruction. And I'm just trying to keep it real because, again, the cockatoo is the most rehomed bird on the planet. And Buster, say hi. I just don't want people just to get one, and then they end up being rehomed later. And my African gray over here, Earl. You gonna say hello, Earl? Will you wave? Sometimes he'll wave. I'll be right back, Buster. Say hello. Earl, will you say hello? Say hi, everybody. I'm Earl's. I have a little more backstory on him. Another thing, when you take in birds, rescue birds, even if you get them from somebody, you're gonna say hi. They're not always going to tell you the truth. I'm not being mean. Some people might tell you 100% the truth, but I'm telling you, they're going to be misleading about something. But according to what I was told, and I do believe it, I'm Earl's third home. He lived with somebody for 13 years. He's about 33 now, and then he lived with the people I got him from for 19 years. He has scissor beak and he has club feet. Actually, to me, his foot looks to me like it was probably broken at some point. He doesn't have a band, and I kind of think that maybe somebody tried to take the band off and it messed up his foot a little bit. But you can see his feet are, oh shoot, I can't see what I'm doing here now. All of a sudden these comments or color came up and I can't see anything. But okay. So I can't really see anymore because of these comments, so I'm sorry. Let's see if I can fix it. Okay. Earl, are you gonna say hello? So anyway, also they, vet care. Earl goes to see the vet tech quite a bit. He's showing off for you guys because of his beak. He has to have his beak trimmed very regularly. And Earl can't fly. He will kamikaze off the table or off his cage sometimes, which we discourage because it scares us, but he can't fly. That's another question I get a lot. Was that funny, Earl? On Buster is about flying. I'd like to go over a specific video that I can link into my videos about that. Buster came with damaged wings. We've tried several times to grow them out. They never ever grow out correctly, and he ends up, we've almost had, when we were really, really trying to let him grow out, he almost injured himself severely 3 different times. And he also, when he can even fly, like back when he was doing that, where he was flying into windows and things like that, he can still fly. He flies across the room. He'll go up on his cage, things like that. But the times we were trying to help him really, really be able to free flight, he was flying into windows. He about knocked himself out twice. He got on top of the roof outside, and he tries to attack me. He tried to attack my face twice. So we don't, again, know a lot about his past. I don't know what happened to him or but that's why we have to keep it because he does injure himself. And I get a lot of times telling me to let him free. Buster was hatched in someone's house. Buster does not know how to live in the wild. And so I'm just trying to do what I can for him and keep him safe. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a quick little update on that. Thanks for everybody. Like, the channel's really growing, and we appreciate that. You appreciate that, don't you, Buster? Buster's just waiting for Dad to get home. That's when he cuts loose. He likes to just give me trouble and make messes for me. So, but again, please, if you look at my post, I shared a retinoblastoma picture. It gives kind of an idea of what, it's RB for short, what it looks like. If you know anybody or you have kids aged, birth to age, around 6, 6.5, 7, to be really safe, please take a please take a picture once a month in dim light from birth to age 7. Make sure if you have a camera that it doesn't automatically take the red out, or your cell phone or whatever. I recommend a flash camera to do that, but as a favor to me and our daughter, we would appreciate that. If 20 years later, sure, with social media there's a lot more retinoblastoma awareness, but it's still not enough. So I ask all you to please share that for us. So we're gonna hop off because Dad will be home soon. Maybe one night we'll do a live when he comes home so you guys can see Buster get excited. So will you tell him bye, Bus? Will you tell everybody bye? You're just gonna chew on your toy you got for Christmas? All right, bye guys.